Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. At least one Bachelor Nation member is anxious to steal Mel Owens for a brief moment. After the upcoming Golden Bachelor lead's comments about his specific dating preferences provoked heated debate among fans, franchise host Jesse Palmer said he was aware of the contentious remarks. Jesse told Us Weekly in an interview published on July 3 that he had seen the headlines because he was on social media. "We haven't begun filming Golden yet, so I haven't spent much time with Mel." While the 46-year-old stated that Mel, 66, seems like a good guy based on their limited encounters so far, he hinted that he would not be afraid to confront the topic once the cameras started rolling. Jesse continued, "I know I'll be able to spend a lot more time with him soon. I am sure that is something we will discuss." Mel stated last month that he wants to woo ladies in a specific age range for the new season of the reality show, adding that he informed producers they should be 45 to 60, just being honest. "If they're 60 or older, I'm cutting them," he remembered telling a producer on the June 4 episode of Podcasts with John Jansen. "This is not the Silver Bachelor, it is the Golden Bachelor." The retired NFL linebacker was particularly open about his physical preferences, saying that his potential lover had to be fit. "Because I keep in shape and work out and whatnot," he explained, adding that he instructed the show's casting crew to try to steer away from the fake hips and the wigs. Shortly after, other admirers, including, expressed their disagreement with Mel's views on social media, highlighting the senior-skewing spin-off special charm. "We love the Golden Bachelor because it's so wholesome," the Selling Sunset star stated in an Instagram Stories post on June 26. "This type of energy will damage it." Continue reading to learn how some of Bachelor Nation's most well-known couples have fared after their time on the show. Mel Owens' rise to Golden Bachelor notoriety had been swift, but so had the public's judgment. His comments, particularly his blunt refusal to date women over 60, spread across Bachelor Nation's online forums and fan accounts like wildfire. Memes popped up overnight, pairing his face with captions like "Not the Silver Bachelor" and "Fake hips need not apply." Some were humorous, others were biting. Within a week, even casual fans who normally didn't follow the senior-focused spin-off were weighing in. The controversy might have faded into the endless churn of reality TV drama, but Mel had been announced as the next Golden Bachelor just a month before filming was scheduled to begin. Producers, who had spent weeks preparing storylines, casting hopefuls, and tailoring the season's narrative arc, suddenly faced the possibility of starting with a lead whose reputation was already damaged. Jesse Palmer, the ever-polished host who had seen countless Bachelor controversies in his years with the franchise, knew this one was different. He dealt with cheating scandals, secret relationships, and even contestants who arrived on night one already engaged to someone else, but this was the lead making polarizing remarks about age and appearance before the first limo had even pulled up. During his July 3 interview with Us Weekly, Jesse chose his words carefully. "I've seen the headlines," he admitted, offering a diplomatic chuckle. "I haven't spent much time with Mel yet, so I can't speak on his intentions fully, but I'm sure it's a conversation we'll have on camera." The on-camera part was telling. Production loved an early-season reckoning moment, and Jesse had a knack for steering those conversations just enough to produce sound bites without turning them into outright PR disasters. The idea of a Golden Bachelor lead being asked point-blank about ageism in the first episode was, frankly, ratings gold. Behind the scenes, a few Bachelor Nation alumni were privately texting Jesse their thoughts, and some were less than thrilled. Susan Knowles, the fiery hairdresser from Jerry Turner's season who had become a fan favorite for her unapologetic humor, sent Jesse a 3-word message: "I volunteer tribute." Jesse knew exactly what she meant. Susan was offering to be the contestant who called Mel out in front of America. Another alum, Faith Martin, took a softer approach, telling producers she'd be willing to meet Mel but wanted to represent women over 60 in a positive, empowered way. Faith had been on the receiving end of ageist remarks in her own dating life and saw this as an opportunity to shift the conversation. Meanwhile, one Bachelor Nation couple, Kathy Swartz and her husband Bill, who had met on Golden Bachelor after the final rose, gave an exclusive to People, saying, "We fell in love because we connected on values and humor, not because of our age." If Mel limits himself, he might miss something special. Fans widely shared the quote, praising the couple for defending the spirit of the spin-off. But not everyone wanted to engage in moral debates. Some alums saw the whole thing as a storyline to be milked for drama. Dean Unglert, who had been a contestant on The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, and countless spin-offs, posted a tongue-in-cheek Instagram story showing himself at the gym with the caption, "Training to meet Mel's casting requirements." He tagged Mel, adding a winking emoji. As the chatter intensified, producers quietly began adjusting the casting pool. While they couldn't completely change the age range without breaking the season's concept, they started leaning more heavily toward women in their late 40s and early 50s, still technically golden but closer to Mel's stated preference. Some women in their 60s were kept on, though, specifically because the show wanted that tension. One of those women, a 63-year-old retired teacher named Denise, had already made waves in her pre-filming interviews. When asked why she wanted to date Mel, she smirked and said, "Oh, I don't. I just want to see if I can make him eat his words." By late July, Mel was fully aware of the backlash. Friends told TMZ that he felt misunderstood and that his comments had been taken out of context, though the unedited podcast clip was still circulating online, making that defense a tough sell. Privately, Mel told a few close contacts that he was confident the women would come around once they met him. Still, Mel wasn't entirely immune to nerves. In the days leading up to filming, he began requesting more control over the first night, specifically, the order in which contestants exited the limo and the type of conversations he would have before the first rose ceremony. Producers allowed some input but reminded him that part of the job was to react, not script. The first night at the Bachelor Mansion was electric. Word had already gotten out among the contestants about Mel's preferences, and the women over 60 had subtly banded together. They weren't openly hostile, this was, after all, a dating show, but there was a quiet determination among them to make their presence undeniable. The moment Mel stepped out in his tailored navy suit, a few contestants in their 50s swooned visibly, while others maintained an unreadable expression. Jesse, watching from the sidelines, mentally bookmarked the reactions for future episode recaps. Still, the season moved forward, and as it did, Mel found himself unexpectedly challenged, not just by the women he'd initially overlooked but by the public's persistent memory of his remarks. Off-camera, Jesse continued to receive messages from Bachelor Nation alumni reacting to each week's developments. Trista Sutter, the original Bachelorette, texted Jesse, "He's digging himself deeper." On the flip side, Nick Viall commented on his podcast that while Mel's delivery had been clumsy, at least he's being honest about what he wants. Isn't that the point of the show? Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.